Hey everybody, it's Ryan here from Ryan Speltz Marketing, and today I'm going to be talking about local search. If you own a local business like a home service provider or a local store, a local plumber, electrician, roofer, remodeler, emergency service, whatever type of business that you have, my guess is you get a certain number of your customers through Google search, or you'd like to. Maybe you haven't yet. Traditionally, the way we have helped customers to get that response, to get people to call them from search, is through creating a good website, doing SEO, search engine optimization, and or running ads and doing lead generation campaigns. And what's happening right now is there are so many changes afoot that in this world, in the SEO world. So what SEO stands for is search engine optimization, and that means we do the things on the back end of your website to make sure it shows up in search results. And it's a marathon, not a race. And what I mean by that is when you do SEO, you're trying to answer the questions people are asking. You're trying to meet the technical specifications that Google has asked for, in their documentation. And you're trying to get backlinks to show authority and different tools. That's simplifying it at the highest level. But the truth is, it's all changing. In fact, they're changing the term SEO. I don't know that anybody's fully decided on what it's going to be, but I heard GEO the other day, which is generative engine optimization, because with tools like ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity, and even Google's Gemini and Google's AI mode and AI overviews, it's becoming different. It's not impossible to rank still or anything like that, but it is becoming different. And so I want to talk about that, and I'm going to show you some examples of what that looks like. This is why I kind of look at when you run a business, we're a marketing company, and we have people like my accounting team and finance team, and we have, business coaches of different sorts that we work with. That's part of your business stack of professionals, people who you can go to and get advice from that maybe aren't employees, but they're people who work directly for you, and you engage with them to get the best results. For our clients, we strive to be that on the marketing front. And if you work with other businesses, that you want to be that position for those other companies, if you sell business to business. So I want to show you some of the changes right now that are happening within Google search, which is still the king of the hill. Like, they get about 40% of search traffic. They still get a really high percentage of what's called high intent or high purchase intent traffic. When someone goes to buy something, they tend to search for it on Google, although the trends are showing people changing to AI searching tools as well for that. But when someone's like, I need some new boots, they go into Google and search for new boots or whatever. So we're going to talk about how to make sure you continue to show up well on Google, and how to rank on some of these other platforms like search or generative engines. So AI search basically is what I mean by that. And what we're doing for our clients and what we found so far. I will be perfectly honest, some of this is still unknown. We are still trying to figure out exactly how to make this work for all of our clients. And it's working well in some cases, and in other cases we're like, well, maybe we need to try something else there. So, but I want to kind of walk you through what is happening. So I even asked Google some advice on this. Their Gemini, I went in and said, okay, what are the changes that are happening? What do we need to do to prepare for our clients? And it gave me some good answers. So I'll talk to you about those today as well. So, okay, first thing on my screen here, you can see that I pulled up Google, the Google search page, and I'm just going to search for plumber near me. Now, what's happened with Google search recently is that they added this unique little button right here that says AI mode. And they're actually rolling this out nationwide, where they're making this the default thing. If you just hit enter, eventually your search results are going to show the AI mode as number one. And there's two things that I know about this right from the start. Number one, this is still in beta mode. And number two, it's going to change. And the reason I know that is because that's Google's MO. They roll stuff out really quickly and then get user feedback and try to figure it out. But the reason I know it's going to change is because most of Google's uh, income comes through advertising and through ad campaigns. Well, pay-per-click campaigns are not necessarily showing up well within AI mode, and so that's decreasing the response rate for a lot of advertisers. And then it's going to change because AI has got to take into account the organic ranking along with the paid ads. And so we'll kind of see what this shows. But this first screen here is the AI mode, and it shows you that when I searched for plumbers near me, it pops up with Davis Brothers Plumbers located in Ogden. They offer 24-hour service and have a 4.6 star Google rating based on 54 reviews. That's the number one ranking. And from on the back end, on the analytics side, this does not count as a view. Nobody's counting this yet. I think that'll change, but right now it's really not being counted as a view of your information. But all of these companies are listed here. And then if you click on the name, it then pulls up the Google business profile or the maps listing, right? It's that local listing that shows your company and what you do. And right now, what we're getting from data input is that makes this, the information on your Google business profile even more important. But what's interesting is looking at these results, they seem to be much more location oriented and not necessarily looking at the data that's in the profile itself. And so each of these companies has their profiles. Some of them are, maximizing their profile better than others, while others are not. It doesn't look like they're doing anything with their profile. They've claimed it, but that's about it. Some of them have very few reviews. Others have lots of reviews. So we'll talk about what we are finding that you need to do to make sure you rank really high here as a local business, right? It's a little different for like a big nationwide company. They're trying to, show up nationwide. Our clients are exclusively local clients. We want them to show up in their service area where people are searching for their needs or their services. So this is first. We know it's going to change. Google's told us it's going to change because of ads. And so we understand that ads will be integrated somehow into this AI mode so that we can see and people will pay to be able to be seen in the local market. Right now, these are not ads. These are just an organic ranking, and they could correspond. If you look at these, Davis, Vargas, SMB, Mike Bachman, Ogden Plumbing, Bell's Plumbing, Elite Home Services, when you look at that list, and if we come here to all is more like the traditional search for our for services. And right here you have your LSAs or Google Guaranteed. These are an ad service through Google. We have clients that we help with that. Then you have the traditional pay-per-click, so Royal Service, Utah. They're paying to show up number one there, but it's a paid ad. 7 to 10% of people will actually click on an ad. Then you get into the Google Maps rankings, and right now Beeks is number one, SMB Plumbing is number two, and Claire's Plumbing is number three, and then there's another ad. And then you come down here and you get into the organic ranking, which Beeks is ranking number one. Here's what's weird is you come over here to AI mode and Beeks wasn't even mentioned on this list. Now that's concerning because Beeks was the number one and still is the number one rated plumber. And until you get all the way down here to where Beeks is, which has many more reviews, and they're located right here in North Ogden, which is where I live, for some reason Davis Brothers is popping up very first. And frankly, they haven't nurtured this account very much. Like they've got 54 reviews, which is good, 4.6, which is okay. They are, there's no like posting of all of their services. They don't have very many photos. It's honestly underserved, and yet they're ranking first. So obviously that's part of what we're saying is there's some things that are just unknown yet. And Google has told us that they're going to base things based on based on the Google business profile, what's happening there. They're going to use that to show people in AI mode. Well, we're still struggling to figure out sometimes why these weird things happen. If Beeks was my client, we would be working actively to try and get this ranking to show up first up here by doing generative AI SEO approaches. One of the things I would check if I was them is to make sure I wasn't like telling the search bots to not pay attention to certain things on their website. I'd make sure and remove all those barriers to ensure that they start showing up higher. Um, that being said, we have been told, and from what we can see, in most search cases, the top results in these AI overviews or these AI modes is coming from companies that actually uh, make sure that their Google business profile and their website are following traditional SEO approaches. So traditional SEO, I always break it down into three simple categories. Number one is making sure your website is set up technically correct, that you have metadata in place, that you have the correct title tags and alt descriptions on photos. You're doing the basic things. You make sure there's a good load speed. There's all these technical things that Google's told us that they are looking for in websites. So make sure it's set up properly to start with. Number two, create content, quality and quantity of content. If you're going up against a website that has double the number of pages as you and double the mentions of the keywords that you're using, they're going to outrank you. And then third is backlinks. Backlinks show authority, and age shows authority. You can't change age, but that authority piece is number three. So those traditional approaches for a website mixed with doing the things that are required for a Google business profile are proving to be very crucial. And the things you have to do for a Google business profile, first and foremost, is get reviews and make sure those reviews, at least 50% of them, have the keywords that you offer, the key services that you offer in the review. That means if someone says, oh, hey, they did a really good job, he was really nice, and he gave my dog a treat, and then left, they don't know, somebody reading that review has no idea, especially the Google bots has no idea that you're a plumber. They just know you're nice and that you gave their dog a treat. So if you can coach your clients to do that, it's crucial. It really will improve your ranking significantly just by having your reviews include the keywords of services that you performed for customers. Okay. The second part of that is replying to those reviews and putting the keywords in those replies as well and saying, hey, we're so glad we could help you with a clogged drain, and we're grateful to be your plumber. Please let us know if there's anything else we can do for you, and reply on Google. So keywords in reviews, super crucial. Number two, make sure your profile, your Google business profile, is stacked, meaning you have all of your services listed, you have an explanation of each of those services, and that you have your phone number, your address, your hours are all dialed in, set up properly, and maximized to its fullest extent. Use the tools that Google gives you. They're not doing it for fun. They're doing it because they're looking to see who will play their game. And as cynical as that can sound, it really is a game, and Google is asking you to play by these rules. If you play by the rules, they reward you with higher ranking. You don't have to play. If you want to rank higher, get more phone calls from local data, you've got to do that. Other things that are important on your profile, they have an update section. So these updates, you may have seen them if you've looked at your profile, you scroll down a bit and it says updates. Well, those updates are almost like social media posts. They're not viewed the same way with maybe the same amount of consistency, but customers do look at them, the data shows it, and Google looks at them, and they look and see, what are you posting, how often are you posting, and does it contain the keywords? Are you paying attention to what people are looking for? Are you answering the questions they have? You also have a question and answer section on your Google profile. When we manage profiles for clients, that's one of the things we do is we go ask questions and answer questions with the keywords in them. We make posts for them. We make sure their photos are uploaded, and we make sure that their reviews are prompted by an AI bot that tells clients what to say. One of the reasons people don't leave reviews is they say, I don't know what to say. I'm embarrassed. I don't know. I feel weird trying to leave a review. I don't know how to write it good. I'm not good at writing. So when that happens, it stops them from leaving a review. When we work with clients, we give them a custom link and we send them their customer can go in and select what services they had performed by the client. They select it, and then they receive a prompt from an AI that says, I was so grateful that the dentist helped me. My tooth was hurting so bad, and they were able to get it repaired, get the cavity filled, and they were so nice. Their staff was great. It was awesome. It'll say something like that. They can copy and paste it and take it directly to Google, or they can change it if they want and make it more personalized or change it to what they want. So copy and paste takes them right over. I'll show you how that works here in just a second too. But those are the things we do for Google Business Profiles to ensure our clients are getting the right reviews and that they're actively involved in doing SEO, but for profiles. That's a key part of it. So here's some of the emphasis from Google when asking it. They have emphasized that search advertising is changing. They're recommending Google Performance Max across most of their search advertising platforms. What Performance Max does is it goes across all of Google's assets, and so you have Google Search obviously is a key one. You have Google Business Profiles. You have YouTube, which is owned by Google. You have Google Images. You have shopping if you're in that kind of an industry. All of those different things are part of what Google offers as in their Performance Max product. So when doing new ads for Google, they highly recommend that you use Performance Max, and they're introducing AI Max as well to ensure you can show up in AI search. And that's being rolled out currently, not even available everywhere, but as soon as it's available, they recommend that you use that new product instead of just traditional pay-per-click ads. They also recommend that you use AI-driven creative and asset generation. They're emphasizing to use this because they're saying AI tools are creating better, more high-quality advertising that's clearer for clients, that people understand a little better. And so they recommend that you use those things. You use high-quality images, but using AI to help generate the creative, the words that you use in the ads is really important. They also are utilizing AI in helping understand targeting and bidding in your local community. So making sure you're talking to the right people about your message and your business and what you do. They've also emphasized that they're going to be more and more careful with brand safety and trust. I have a good friend. He owns a duct cleaning business here locally, and there are scammers who are literally running ads on Facebook saying they're him with his logo, with his company name. They're messaging the people through Facebook. They're setting them up for service. They're collecting money. Sometimes they even show up to the location and collect money or the deposit, and they pretend to do the work, and then they leave without ever performing the work. Then he gets bad reviews and gets slammed, and so it's become a real problem. He's actually working with the police to try and figure this out. Well, Google has those problems too. Scammers who are just taking advantage of people and running these ads and whatnot. So it's important to realize that they're going to work very hard to eliminate scams and false businesses, and they're going to, they'll punish you if you don't follow their rules, but it's better for us in the long run that they take care of these scammers and get them out of the way, get them out of search data and search ads, so that we are interacting with better customers and clients as we go. So now, your local map pack, if I come here to all, used to be at the very top. And so we worked really hard to get our clients, and we still do work really hard to get our clients up here. These still are very valid and important. In fact, the data being used by AI, we're finding, is coming from these listings. And so the better you do at using, or providing Google with all the data that you have, the better you're going to perform here. Well, now with this AI mode, if you look here, AI mode is not showing the Google Map Pack. Now, when you come here and you click on this, it brings it up, but the visibility has changed and it's decreased a bit. However, because it's the data that they're after, and being able to show what's happening in your company and what you're offering, the data that's in here right now is proving to be very important. And so making sure you nurture this page. The disconnect for me is I'm like, why is it not showing Beaks at the top of that AI? Because they've clearly done some SEO work. They're number one as a local company. They're the number one ranked company. But and here's their website. It's SEO optimized, but for some reason they're not showing up very high on those search results. That would be a challenge that I would be working on full time if they were my client. Um, so you're going to see reduced click-through rates too on Google Maps. What that means is they might see your listing and get all of what they need from that AI overview. So for example, if I come here, um, this is this is called no click-through. So if I come here and then I just call them at this number right here, I call this Vargas Brothers Plumbing, I'm not clicking through to their website at all. And so one of those indicators that you were getting clients and you were getting search rankings was clicks through to your website. Well, that's not even going to happen. That's going to happen even less than it was, which it was already decreasing because of Google Business Profiles. People were taking care of what they needed right within the profile. They weren't digging any deeper, basically, checking out their website, doing that kind of stuff. Now, some do still, and so it's still valid and important, but that is changing and changing even more by these AI overviews. Now, if I go to ChatGPT and I do the same thing, the thing that's also changed here is a lot of people are searching differently because they view ChatGPT almost like a person. So they're saying something like, help me find the best plumber near me for a drain cleaning. It's a little different search. They might have said that to Google, but most people just say plumber near me. But because they talk and these talk back to us differently, it changes the search. So once again, here are different search results based on what I search for. Now, ChatGPT doesn't have my exact location, so I'm going to say I am in North Ogden, Utah. And that should give me a little bit better results for North Ogden instead of Salt Lake. I always tell ChatGPT to cut the BS, so it always answers, here's your no BS answer. Okay, so ChatGPT search seems like it's more heavily using the maps listing, which lists Beaks as first. And let's see if this other company shows up here too. Halverson. They don't show up. I didn't see them on any of these lists. I don't think they were in the AI mode either. Let's go back to here and see if Halverson's shows up. So this is the growing challenge for marketing companies and for you as a local business owner, is trying to figure out how to make sure you're ranking higher on these AI results. Because if I was to use this AI mode, I'd probably call one of these first 3 or 4 customers. I know Mike Bachman Plumbing, so I'd probably call them just because I know some of the owners and they're good dudes. But if you didn't know anybody, you're just going to call the first 3 that look like they had good listings. Same thing here. You're probably going to call Beaks, SMB, or Claire's. But if you look at the ChatGPT results, you're probably going to call Beaks, Halverson, or Valley, or Roto-Rooter, North Ogden, right? So it's giving listings based on its data. This is a challenge. And so the reason this is important for you to be paying attention to is because as search changes and as people are using it differently and they're using voice search and all these different things, you need to be aware of what's happening and continue to monitor all of it. However, I also know as a business owner, it's really tough to stay on top of all this stuff. It's tough to know exactly what you should be doing. So you should employ agencies and part of your business knowledge stack group of individuals, your marketing company. You should employ them to do that research for you to ensure that they are following the best practices and the most recent news on what's happening, especially with, if they're going to call it geo, that means generative engine optimization, or if they're going to call it search engine optimization going forward, you need to know what's happening. So right now, here's what we're doing for clients. First of all, we're using Optibot, which is our AI-powered Google Business Profile optimizer. And I'll show you on my own account here what that means. First of all, we generate posts weekly for our clients. And this is AI powered, but operated by humans, right? So me and my team, we are in the back end and we make sure the optimizations are happening on a continued basis. It takes a minute to load here, and I think it's being slower than normal. First thing that happens though is we give a custom link to our clients to where they get something like this. How was your experience with Ryan Spelt's marketing? And if they're happy, they say, well, we love their creativity or the results we got or the marketing or the website they built for us or a Google business profile. Then you'll see here it leaves or it gives me, if I was leaving myself a review, which I wish I mean, I could, but you know, it seems a little biased. So the Google business profile provided by Ryan Spelt's Marketing effectively helped us showcase our digital marketing expertise, making it easier for our clients to find and connect with us for marketing consultants near me. This comes across very robotic sometimes. Now, a person who really cares, they just click here and they can edit it, right? Um, because I would say the Google Business Profile optimization provided by Ryan Spelt's Marketing effectively helped us showcase our, it's not their digital marketing expertise, right? But our expertise. So it's AI still, it's not a human. And so it's not exactly perfect, but most of the time clients will see that and they'll say, that works for me because they don't want to come up with the words. So then they can copy it and paste it over. If I see that happening with one of our clients where it's not giving them the best results or response, see, then I could paste that in here and show copy exactly what was said on that other page. Well, if that's a problem, we can go in and actually, cancel and yes. We can train the program to do better there and say, don't say Google Business Profile, say Google Business Profile optimization, right? So we can change how that is. These are the keywords that we're going for with our agency. And right now our automations are set up to 100%, profile optimization 76. We're still working on it. As the time goes, another thing that we give our clients, I reset that, would be this, which is a image link. We found that images that are taken on location with cell phones have location data in it, and so we encourage our clients to upload images here all the time, every week, 3 or 4 images a week. We can then use those for the posts that we're making. We can use them for the different things. The results from this are fantastic because it shows an increase in their Google Maps listing. So when we first started this for our agency, these are all the steps that we've taken over the last 3 months. For marketing consultants in this area in North Ogden, we were ranking 20 plus. We weren't even ranking at all. And over the last 4 months, we've had a 9,000% improvement. We're number 1 or 2 in this area for that search term. For branding agencies, same thing. We were barely ranking. Now we're 1 or 2 in this immediate area. Online advertising services didn't rank. Now we're 3 or 4 or 5. And we're continuing to work on this. So the goal is over time to improve. What this map means, if you look at it, right there's North Ogden. So if I was standing right there where that North Ogden sign is physically and I searched online advertising services, Ryan Spelt's Marketing, my company, would show up number 4, right? Our goal is to be the top 3 on those maps rankings, and we're finding that that's also impacting AI search as well. Web design agency, same thing. 12 was our high, or 10 was our highest rank before, and now it's number 3, number 4, number 7. So we're moving up. We're continuing to increase and improve our Google rankings, and we get calls from Google too. So people will call up and say, "Hey, we want to find out more. We're looking to get more awareness, more notoriety, more customers." And so this tool does a really good job of ranking that Google Business Profile ranking higher, and it does all the things that Google's been telling us that they're looking for. So some tips that I would give you for going forward. Number 1, keep paying attention and employ companies that are paying attention, that they aren't just riding the wave and just hoping that the SEO thing all works out and that they just are going to keep doing the same thing they've always been doing. We have been working with new tools consistently, trying to make sure we know what's happening so that we can pass that on for our customers. Um, Being an authority in the market still matters, and it probably matters more than it ever has. Even though it was always a ranking factor, the truth is, the more authority you can show in your marketplace, the more your posts make sense and they answer the actual questions people are asking, the more you can tap into intent based searches. So if you're giving information about plumbing, that's cool. But really, when someone has a clogged toilet, they're in a hurry and they're like, I really need someone to come out now. And so you could answer that question and say, hey, we come out when you're in, a dire situation and your toilet is overflowing or whatever. Same thing for whatever business you have. Think about the way people are going to search for it and use tools like ChatGPT and Google's Gemini to ask questions and say, hey, what answers should I be, or questions should I be answering when people are searching for me on your platform? What should I do on my website? What should I do on my business profile? We do those all the time. We also use tools, SEO tools, and all of them are integrating AI visibility scores and audit factors so that we can continue to show up across all platforms. Before it used to be, are you on Google? Are you on Bing? Now, yes, those are still important, but now you've got to add in AI. Rather than be overwhelmed by all that, just pay attention, continue to focus on creating great content and creating great answers to the questions that people are asking. They're going to continue to trigger search results. And there's so much traffic out there. So many people are searching for stuff every day. I get continually surprised sometimes when I look things up. Even our small community, a little bedroom community here in northern Utah, I look up how much traffic is happening on a certain search term in this community, and I'm like, holy cow, 9,000 searches a month for that random thing. There's such a demand and a need for it. It pays to be in the top rankings for your business, for your website, for your Google business profile. If you'd like help with any of that, let us know. We'd love to help you. We do specialize in local. We don't do big nationwide companies that are trying to reach across the United States. We focus on community-based companies. We focus on Main Street. We focus on the companies who are serving their own community. We have customers with multiple locations that are across multiple locales, but they're all still local companies serving Utah companies. We have clients across the United States that do that same thing. The majority of our clients are here locally and are serving customers locally. So anyway, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you some insight. I highly recommend using tools like Optibot. If you'd like a free scan, you can go to audit.optibot.ryanspeltz.marketing. Kind of a long one, but we'll put it up on the screen so you can connect there. If you want a free marketing audit, let me know, shoot me a message, or you can go to ryanspeltz.marketing and just book an appointment. We do those for free as well. We have several different other audits as well. Check out our marketing tools. We have a lot of cool tools that will kind of help you do what you need to do. If you're kind of new in business and you don't have a big budget, I recommend starting with the marketing pyramid that we have on the website, because it goes through step by step what you should be focusing on first. Unfortunately, most local businesses, they don't know what to do, and so they often do things like run an ad on the grocery carts at the grocery store, or they might run an ad in their local newspaper. And sometimes it's a crapshoot of whether it will work or not and pull in some clients. But if they're really not ready for leads, often it doesn't do what they need it to do. So we highly recommend starting at the basics first. So for me, the basics are the search results. So I would start with setting up your business, making sure you know who your ideal client is and why they would do business with you. That's number one. That's marketing 101. Who are you and why should people care? Then number two is your profiles, your Google business profile. If you're a retail location, Apple Maps, it's called Apple Business Connect, Bing profile. Get those set up, they're free. And then start optimizing them, right? Number three is your website. Get your website set up, get it performing well. We use a Launchscape format, which is designed to help you make more sales. So it's not confusing. It reduces resistance to doing business with you. And as part of that profile, or as part of your website, then do SEO so that your organic ranking can rank higher. And that SEO work will also speak to the generative engines so that AI can read your website and be like, oh yeah, these guys, they're good at this, right? They talk about this a lot. That's something that they can do well with. And then you start looking at maybe running some ads. I would do social media first. I'd get good at content, and then I would start paying to run ads. Then you can look at other sources like Facebook, Instagram, Yelp, um, news sites, getting articles written, and getting a billboard, getting on the radio, getting on TV. Like there's so many different avenues you can use, but really those ads should be last after all that other stuff is in place. So if you're starting off on that journey, make sure you're spending what little budget you have in the right places so that you're not wasting it and doing it on things that really don't, won't produce the results you need them to. And then you'll be like, well, I tried that one time and I lost money on it. It's probably because you just weren't ready for it yet. Okay. Anyway, that's the episode this week. It's making sure that you are playing the games that need to be played so you can show up higher in those rankings, that you can get your company to perform well, that you can get it to show up when you need it to show up, which is when somebody's looking for it, because that's the easiest time to do business with them, when they're like, hey, you know what? We want to do business with you. We need you. We need your services right now. Give us a bid, take a shot at it, right? Throw your hat in the ring. So anyway, love to answer any questions you have. Good luck out there, and we'll talk to you next time.